the show about faith, family, and freedom. You're listening to Saving the American Dream with Jim Marter on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back. This is Jim Marter and Gretchen Fritz on Saving the American Dream. We're going to talk exactly about that right now, and right now with our two very special guests.
With us now are the former Comptroller General of the United States, David M. Walker, and with him is businessman and author Joe Penland Sr., who is widely known as Joe from Texas, and we'll find out about that. Thank you for coming on with us.
Good to be with you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Joe, welcome to the show. Let's start with you. You're Joe, but you're not an average Joe. You're a very successful businessman, as I understand. Tell us about your business journey that led you here with this mission. Give us a little bit of your background.
Okay, but I still consider myself average. Okay, let's just stay with that. But just working construction early when I was getting out of high school and seeing a need for a product that I was fortunate enough to get in build in my mother's backyard to start it out, and I've been doing the same thing for 52 years, building heavy equipment mats, and we ship them all over the world under heavy equipment, anywhere there's soft ground.
Nice.
Well, and that's amazing, and I want to jump to our second guest also for an introduction, who is partnering with Joe on a mission near and dear to my heart. Welcome, David Walker. First, tell us about your background, about your work as Comptroller General of the United States, the nation's top auditor.
Sure, happy to be with you. I've got over 40 years of private sector, public sector, not-for-profit sector, and academia leadership experience. I've run 3 federal agencies, 2 in the executive branch, 1 in the legislative branch, ran the Government Accountability Office as Comptroller General of the United States for 10 years, which is in the legislative branch. Been a trustee of Social Security and Medicare, and also a professor at the Naval Academy, among many things. So Joe and I are partnering up to help save Social Security and save America's future, because we're mortgaging it right now with disastrous consequences if we don't defuse this debt bomb.
Yeah, I totally hear you. I mean, I felt the weight of that, just as an average Jim out here working the last 40 years in the manufacturing sector. And I'm a longtime advocate of cutting government waste, fraud, and abuse. I love the idea of DOGE, right? Trump's Department of Government Efficiency.
Love it.
And working to get to Congress where I can help and do that. So tell us about your plans, proposal, and in particular, what can and should Congress be doing to bring about real solutions to serious problems like Social Security and reducing our debt?
Well, what people need to understand is that if we do nothing, Social Security benefits will be cut 22 to 28% across the board in late 2032. That's obviously unacceptable from an equity, economic, and other perspectives. We must not let that happen. And so Joe and I are going on the road to help speak the truth and show the way forward as to how you can reform that program and exceed the expectation of every generation of Americans. I won't get into the details now, but the second thing that we need to do is that we need to be able to reduce, and yes, I said reduce, debt as a percentage of the economy, because it's already too high. It's projected to go up another from about 100% of GDP to 175 in the next 30 years. That's third world nation status. Mm-hmm. We cannot allow that to happen. So we're focusing on both of those things, leading with Social Security, but also talking about all the other things that need to be addressed.
Wow, that's serious. That's profound. So I have a question for either of you. Younger people don't really worry about the national debt. They think that because they didn't put something on their credit card, quote unquote credit card, they're not responsible or they're not going to be impacted by it. Can you explain in simple to understand terms who something like the national debt will impact? Is it individuals my age, and help us understand the danger?
Well, let me mention something briefly, and then Joe should come in. The only thing that is guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States is the debt. So it's everybody's problem, everybody's responsibility, in particular young people, because they didn't cause the problem, but they're going to bear the burden. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, and your debt is making the inflation in this country spiral out of control also. So everybody suffers when you have too much debt. There's no two ways about this. You can't say that we're letting somebody out of this debt problem. If you're in America, you're one of the 340 million people, this debt is going to impact your life. Whether you have a lot of money, don't have a lot of money, just starting out, it's not going to make any difference if it's male, female, black or white. It's going to catch us all. The debt is going to overcome this economy, and when it does, everybody will suffer.
Sure.
Hey, Joe, I saw that in the last election cycle, you had worked with David on something called the Contract from the American People. How has that evolved into the 2026 midterms, and is that part of the mission? And to be honest, it kind of looks like my platform, what I've been running on to bring to the people of Illinois' 14th district. Can you walk us through some of that and let our audience know? And I'll list them here. Rein in spending, control the debt, save Social Security, control inflation, secure the border, enforce the law, economics based on energy policies, and that's not the Green News scam energy policies, school choice, fighting corruption, and term limits.
Well, yeah, and let's just start at the end of that, term limits. And Jim, I wish you a lot of luck in your endeavor that you're pursuing now. But we have to have checks and balances when people put their hand on the Bible and swear to do what they're going to do to help this country. And I think when somebody can stay there 20, 24 years, 30 years, 36 years, I don't think that's a good thing. I think term limits would give Congress the cover they need to vote what's right at the right time and not be persuaded or have too much influence from the party. If you know it's right for America, just go ahead and vote that. Now, that's not going to be popular in the Democrat Party or the Republican Party, but it's okay if you do that when you're getting out. And you see there's several senators and congressmen now have all of a sudden jumped on the Save Social Security bandwagon, and a few months ago they wouldn't even have talked about it. It's because they're not going to run again, whether they're not running or the primary has got them or whatever. So it shows you it's a clear picture for America that if we had term limits, I think things would not be near as bad as they are today. And I'll just end with that one.
Yeah, and I've actually always been for term limits. I have a nearly 40-plus year career in the private sector. I don't need 40-plus years in Congress, and neither does anyone else, right? So we're gonna we still got a little bit of time in this segment. So any of the other points you want to jump in on?
Well, the border had to be.
I think what people need to I think what people need to understand is that we can reform Social Security and exceed the expectations of every generation of Americans, because young people don't think they're going to get it. They're wrong. They are. Maybe they're different age and will do a different amount. Seniors think they're going to get taken advantage of. They're not. And therefore, if we can make the reforms, phase them in over time, everybody gets more than they think they're going to get, which, quite frankly, is a win. The problem is Congress is a lag indicator. We have too many laggards and not enough leaders.
Oh, amen to that. So two of these are secure the border and enforce the law. And those are two sides of the same coin, right?
It is, but we had to get a handle on the border. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're spending billions of dollars down there and not saying anything about the human impact that was. People coming across the border that were born on one side of the Rio Grande, we're born on this side. I don't think God intended it to be that they're going to be punished and be down there. If we can bring people up here, let them work in this country. We brought people up here through Ellis Island at the turn of the century. 20 million people came here and stayed and did it the right way. Legal immigration is a good thing. If you look at our decline in birth rate that we have right now, if we're going to continue to be a prosperous country, we're going to have people to work. And right now we don't have enough women having children, and it's their decision. But we don't have enough people doing that today to sustain a workforce that will keep this country moving. So we're going to have to get a handle on that. First thing we had to do was close the flow coming in. And we've done that. I think the president's done a good job.
We'll keep you on to the next segment. We'll pick up where we left off. I want to give you a plug. So you both are going to be in Illinois at the Save America rallies sponsored by Illinois Family Action. The first one I'll be speaking at, along with Darren Bailey and Don Tracy as some additional candidate speakers. But Joe from Texas and David M. Walker will be the keynotes at that event. The first one's Bolingbrook Golf Club right here in my district.
If you love life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you're in the right place. More of Saving the American Dream with Jim Marter on AM 560, The Answer.
We're back here on Saving the American Dream with Jim Marter and Gretchen Fritz. We're visiting with Joe from Texas and the former Comptroller General of the United States, David Walker. Welcome back, gentlemen. So, David, you and Joe wanted to talk more about Social Security in this segment.
We do, but and Joe has a real personal situation where he can talk about how he benefited from all three aspects of Social Security. But before we go to that, let me just mention the three things that we believe have to be done in order to solve the problem. First, DOGE did good work, but they didn't do what needs to be done. We need a government transformation task force that can be created by the president that will focus on what are we trying to accomplish, how do we measure success from an economic, national security, foreign policy, and domestic standpoint. We don't have that right now in the country. That will enable us to be able to fundamentally restructure government. What should it do? How should it do it? What should be done by the federal government? What should be done by state and local? What should be done by the private sector? That's important. Secondly, we need a statutory fiscal commission that will consider Social Security as well as the other issues, engage the public with the facts, the truth, the tough choices, and make a package of recommendations that will be guaranteed to vote in Congress. And thirdly, the only thing that will bind Congress to restore fiscal sanity and sustainability is a constitutional amendment. Nothing else will work. And so we're fighting for that as well. But if I can, let me turn it over to Joe, and he can talk about his personal story on Social Security, which is very important and very unique.
Well, Social Security's been around since 1935. President Roosevelt got that started, and what rightfully so. First checks went out in 1940, and this program has been well received. It's probably the most favorite program America's had in America's history for the taxpayers or residents. 1957, my father had a massive stroke. 2 weeks later, we didn't have nothing to eat, so Social Security started sending us a small check. A few years later, he passed away. It changed to now that we were the dependents of a deceased veteran who'd worked all his life here and paid into it. And now I'm old enough to draw Social Security myself. There's no two ways about the importance of Social Security. 75 million people own it. There'll be 80 million people on it when it runs out in 2032. They'll take a 22 to 28% cut. They'll devastate seniors in this country. It'll double the poverty rate literally overnight, and it'll wreck your economy. And I promise you we can fix it. Like Dave says, it's the easiest problem we have right now facing America that we can fix. We can't do the $40 trillion debt. We can fix Social Security literally overnight.
It's interesting because my opponent, and I refer to her as left of the squad, Lauren Underwood, she's out there telling people right now that I want to eliminate, not cut, eliminate Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. My father, by the way, is a 91-year-old Army vet, and he paid into that and honestly getting back pennies on the dollar. But I believe that that's the money of the American people, and they do deserve it, and they earned it. So what would you tell my opponent who says Republicans are going to get rid of all this stuff? That's apparently they've already proposed it because that's what she's saying. I do refer to her as misinformation.
Let me jump in. First, I don't know a single person.
He's talking about what comes out the wrong end of a horse, okay, is what she's talking about. Because nobody in this country wants to get rid of Social Security. That's a tactic that everybody wants to use as a scare tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know a single person, Democrat, Republican, or Independent, that wants to eliminate those three programs. that person's just a demagogue and is part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Amen to that. Yep. So tell us a little bit more about your websites, where you guys can be found at. We're looking forward to seeing you here very soon, a week and a half away?
August 4th.
August 4th at Bolingbrook Golf Club from 7 to 9 p.m. I'll be there myself, and I'll speak a little bit, but you guys are the features there, so tell us a little bit about that, your website, and your work.
Well, you can go to joefromtexas.com to locate me.
Try that one more time, yes.
Go ahead, Joe.
Go to joefromtexas.com, and that's the way you'll get a hold of me.
All right, very good. And David?
Yeah, I've got a lot of different ones. I'll just give you one. I'm chairman of something called the Federal Fiscal Sustainability Foundation. You can find it at ffsf.us.
So if there was any key takeaways, because we're down to the last 50 seconds, just some key takeaways that you want the folks to know. And again, we'll be looking for you to a lot more in depth in this very short interview here, but at the Save America rallies, both here in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and Springfield.
If you want to save Social Security in America, come to the event.
All right. Well, thank
you. What America needs to know is use your vote. You have to vote.
Amen to that. We have to get out the vote. We need the Americans that think everything's, not their problem to get out and vote, because it is your problem, and whether you like it or not, it's coming to you. High inflation, that's the killer. Folks, the government spending is going to drive that.
We'll be right back.